Hello, I'm Errol Fuller, curator of the third annual Natural History Sale at Somers Place Auctions. We've got a whole variety of wonderful items from the natural world. We've got mineral specimens, we've got fossils, we've got fabulous items of 19th century taxidermy like this one. We've got skeletons of animals. The star of the show, of course, is the fossil of an Allosaurus, a juvenile Allosaurus, one of the main predators from the Jurassic period. And we've even got the spike from the tail of a Stegosaurus, which was the creature that the Allosaurus preyed upon most of all. Here is a moment captured in time. This fossil came from the world-renowned quarries at Solnhofen in Germany, and it shows a starfish and the last trail it made shortly before some disaster overwhelmed it and it was killed immediately. It seems to have been on its way to catch this little shell here and eat it, one imagines, but it never made the full journey. What the disaster may have been, we don't know. Here is another very, very rare fossil from Solnhofen. This is two sides of some sort of prehistoric prawn that lived 150, 160 million years ago. And what's so amazing about this particular fossil is we've got both halves. Someone found a slab of rock, decided to slice it. They sliced it, and with good fortune, the rock broke absolutely halfway along the section of the prawn. So we've got both sides, there and there. Here is the star of our show, a juvenile Allosaurus from the Jurassic period. There may be no other juvenile of this species in the world as complete as this one. There are a number of fully adult Allosauruses in various museums around the world, but no wonderful juvenile ones of this kind. This one is probably 4 meters long, so it's quite tidily sized. It's in beautiful condition. The claws are all here, and the skull, and much of the rest of the skeleton. There are some wonderful mineral specimens in the auction. Amongst them are two splendid examples of Lapis Lazuli, huge specimens from Afghanistan, showing the beautiful deep blue that these mineral specimens have. As far as taxidermy is concerned, we've got many wonderful examples from the 19th century and early 20th. Among them are several beautiful cases of tropical birds, mixed cases of the kind that were frequently made in the 19th century. One of them is a huge case showing a whole variety of Indian birds, and it was made by the famous Henry Ward, who travelled with the illustrious bird painter John James Audubon in America. Then he came back and settled in London, and this case, lot 120, it was made by him and is a brilliant example of his work. When those who speak about Victorian and Edwardian taxidermists speak about their favourite, they normally end up with the name of Peter Spicer, a taxidermist who operated out of Leamington Spa in the Midlands of England. His cases are famous first of all for the brilliance of the taxidermy, second for the beautiful decor he put them in, the lovely painted scene backgrounds and beautiful rock work and vegetation that he surrounds the bird with. We've got a capercaillie in a snow scene by Peter Spicer. Last year we had another capercaillie that arguably wasn't as good as this one, and it sold for £10,000. This one is an absolute peach. Last year saw the 100th anniversary of the death of the very last passenger pigeon, a species of bird that was once the commonest on earth but declined within the space of 100 years to absolute extinction. The bird was a very beautiful creature and very fast moving, and has been featured in a number of books that were written to commemorate the anniversary of the death of the last one, including one that I wrote myself, just called simply The Passenger Pigeon. On the subject of extinct birds, we have the skeleton of one of the most famous, iconic extinct birds of all, the moa that came from New Zealand. There's a lot of doubt about when the last one died. Some people think it may have died as early as 1500. Other people think that they may have survived into the 19th century. Anyway, skeletons of them are very, very rare in private hands, and we have the entire skeleton of a medium-sized one. We have a number of absolutely marvellous collector's cabinets from the 19th century and early part of the 20th. Perhaps the most important is a 24-drawer mahogany collector's cabinet that once belonged to James Charles Dale, who was arguably the most important entomologist of his time. But there are other wonderful cabinets as well. A 12-drawer mahogany cabinet, a pair of 18-drawer mahogany cabinets, and so on and so forth.